Do you think that you can cheat easily without getting caught? Many people believe that they can escape getting caught. Though when you get caught, it's one of the most embarrassing things that can happen to you. Let's look at these NBA players who forgot they could cheating bedbugs. Draymond Green. This player is so infamous that there is an entry of the name in the Urban Dictionary, where the name means a sex move in which one player violently kicks or punches the other in their genitals, then pretends it was an accident. It was named after the NBA player Draymond Green due to his tendency to strike opposing players in their genitals and pretend that it was an accident. Andrew Bogut and Brandon Jennings. They do it to get that competitive edge or take advantage of the fact that referees are just humans that sometimes make mistakes. Still, Brandon Jennings and Andrew Bogut took it to another level as they almost pulled off a cheat that we have never seen before. In a 2010 regular season game between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Houston Rockets in Texas, the Bucks duo tried to pull off the free throw switch. During the late third quarter of that game, Bogut was trying to post up and got fouled. As the Bucks were inbounds, Bogut was set to shoot 2 free throws. The Bucks were down 9 and they needed every point they could get, but Bogut, being just a 59.4% free throw shooter at the time, wasn't the best choice to get those points. So what did the Bucks do? As everybody was just standing around during the dead ball and not really paying attention, Jennings, an 81.8% free throw shooter, stepped up to the line while Bogut went in to get ready for the rebound. Nobody, including the refs, noticed anything was wrong as they passed Jennings the ball. The plan seemed to work, and Jennings knocked down the first free throw, but then the Rockets got suspicious and started protesting, notifying the refs of how Bogut was the one who got fouled. Jennings began to act like he doesn't know what's happening as the refs removed his point and sent Bogut to the line. It would prove to be a reasonable attempt because Bogut missed both of those free throws. It was all smiles as they almost fooled everybody in that arena. A funny kind of one-of-a-kind story. DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton, the number 1 overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft, was suspended 25 games after testing positive for a banned substance, the NBA has announced. The Phoenix Suns center was caught using a diuretic, which violates the NBPA's anti-drug policy. He's appealing the suspension. Diuretics increase the rate of urine flow to adjust the volume and composition of bodily fluids. A person would take a diuretic for 2 main reasons: A, to rapidly lose weight, or B, to mask something else they're taking. Diuretics have been abused by athletes for both reasons and can be found on the World Anti-Doping Agency's WADA list of prohibited substances. A 25-game suspension would mean Ayton is going to miss about 30% of the season. This is everything you need to know about Ayton's suspension for a banned substance. Ayton certainly didn't look like he lost weight heading into the season. The 21-year-old's test reportedly shows no other signs of banned substances, but that doesn't exactly clear him. The point of taking a diuretic is so those substances don't show up. Is it possible Ayton took the diuretic by accident? Of course. Ayton said it was an unintentional mistake in his statement. John Collins. According to several reports, Collins tested positive for growth hormone releasing peptide 2, GHRP2. The NBA takes its anti-doping policy seriously, but he says he had no ill intent. I can say this a million times, but I would never ever jeopardize. I've seen some of those comments, Collins said via The Athletic. They hurt me a little bit. This guy is a cheater. I feel like if you know me and know my character and my person, it's not what I would do. It's not what I would ever do. For me, I just want to let them know that I'm not a cheater. This is something that I would never let happen again if I can control it. I will be more aware of everything going on with my situation to be more secure about my career. Though the Hawks were defeated 121-118, Collins put together a nice game in his return to the lineup. He logged 35 minutes, scoring 27 points on 12 out of 20 shooting from the field, 2 out of 5 from beyond the arc, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 2 steals. Bruce Bowen. Bruce Bowen made a name for himself as a hard-nosed defender in the NBA. He is considered to be one of the best perimeter defenders, willing to get in the face of any shooter or ball handler he was designated to guard. And maybe he kicked a couple of players. Bowen was never much of an offensive threat during his career, but he didn't have to be. With the Spurs, he had plenty of firepower around him where he could be the ultimate shutdown defender. Bowen had the luxury of being on a Spurs team that was built to win with or without him. Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili didn't need Bowen to really win. They had Robert Horry to hit the big shots. Bowen was just on the team to take out the best player the opposition had to offer. Among Bowen's victims are Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, Wally Szczerbiak, Amari Stoudemire, Vince Carter, Steve Francis, Ray Allen, Jamal Crawford, and Chris Paul. Among Bowen's offenses are kneeling opponents in the groin, kicking opponents in the calf, back, and face, and generally flailing around in an attempt to do some damage to another player. Bowen is probably best for the nasty habit of trying to roll opponents' ankles when they're landing from a shot, or simply making a cut to the basket. Throughout his career with the Spurs, Bowen was always touted as one of the best defenders the team had, and was considered an integral part of the NBA championships. The question is, did Bowen earn the reputation because he never backed down from an opponent, or because he was just that good at getting away with a lot more than anyone saw him try? Now Bowen is retired and he has taken his dangerous foot with him. At this juncture, it is impossible to tell what Bowen's legacy will be. Hedo Turkoglu. Orlando Magic forward Hedo Turkoglu was suspended for 20 games by the NBA on Wednesday after testing positive for steroids. The league said Turkoglu tested positive for methanolone, an anabolic steroid. He began serving the suspension Wednesday night when the Magic hosted the Atlanta Hawks. Turkoglu took full responsibility for the positive test and apologized to the Magic organization, fans, and fellow teammates. He said he took medication from a trainer in Turkey last summer to help him recover from a shoulder injury and mistakenly neglected to check it against the NBA's list of banned substances. As a player, this is the worst situation that you want to be in, said Turkoglu, a 6'10" forward. I'm just sorry to put the organization in this situation. Performance-enhancing drugs have not been a prominent issue in the NBA, in contrast to the headlines they have created in the NFL and Major League Baseball. Dwight Howard. In March 2016, the Houston Rockets lost a game, which was anything but a news story, especially not this season. What made the 109-97 loss to the Atlanta Hawks notable was an incident where Rockets center Dwight Howard was caught using the adhesive substance Stickum during the game. It was the latest embarrassing development for a team that's had a season full of them. I've never felt the ball like that ever, said Atlanta's Paul Millsap, who discovered the substance on the ball while lining up for a free throw. It was sticky. It was like super glue or something was on there. I couldn't get it off my hands. It was the weirdest thing ever. The officials confiscated a bottle of what ended up being Stickum and warned both teams that it was prohibited. Afterwards, Howard admitted that he used the product every game while denying that it was a big deal. The NBA apparently agreed to an extent, while the league sent out a warning to all teams emphasizing that the use of an adhesive substance was not allowed during games. It declined to suspend or even level a fine at Howard. The NBA might have declined to take action against Howard because it seems doubtful that Stickum, most famously used in the NFL by wide receivers seeking a better grip, could even help a basketball player. Boston Celtics head coach Brad Stevens spoke to this when he commented on the situation. I'd never really heard of it. Like, I've never heard of it being used. I can't figure out why you'd want to have it on. It's certainly hard to imagine why Howard, notoriously one of the worst free throw shooters in the league, would be using a substance designed to make it more difficult to get the ball out of one's hands. Did he think it would help him collect rebounds? Does he live in constant fear of ill-timed grip-related turnovers? Would whatever imagined edge that he thinks Stickum would give him be worth the negative effects it could have on every other aspect of the game?